Today, we're going to be enjoying New York City's most famous sandwich, the pastrami sandwich. Of course, we're starting here, Katz's Deli.
I've had one pastrami sandwich in my whole life. I came to New York for a vacation about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I don't remember loving it. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
I changed your mind on hot dogs.
You did.
So I feel like today I'm going to change your mind on pastrami. So I figure we'll split a pastrami sandwich here, a couple other places, and you'll see what New York City has to offer.
I'm very open-minded. If anywhere's going to change my mind about pastrami, it's going to be New York.
That's right.
Let's give it a go.
Katz has been around since 1888, and it's been at this location since 1930.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of sandwiches.
A lot of history. There's a lot of celebrities on the wall, which I've been enjoying. Got Danny DeVito over there behind us.
Barbara Streisand.
I trust him with my life, let alone my sandwich recommendations.
Yeah, yeah.
What are we looking for? Like, what constitutes a good pastrami sandwich?
Thick sandwiches, my guy. Like, you're not gonna believe. I want piled high, thick slices of pastrami. To me, the best pastrami, it almost falls apart when you bite it. It like melts in your mouth. I'm telling you, this place specifically, you're going to pastrami heaven. You're gonna want to be buried in this meat. I'm telling you. This place
was
is awesome.
One of the most highly recommended places to me by just friends and family. Like everyone was like, you're going to New York, you have to go to Katz's specifically.
Yeah, this place. Also, this place got great pickles. You like pickles. I'm not so big on pickles, but I'll allow you to have one. And potato knishes, my man. Yeah.
I'm really getting in touch with my Jewish heritage today. I'm very here for it. If you're going to convince me on pastrami, maybe I can convince you on pickles. We'll see. I feel like that might be a harder task.
Yeah, we'll see.
How do we order at this place? It's a little bit chaotic.
You get one of these when you walk in, they jot down everything on the card, pay on your way out.
Okay, easy.
Save our seats, I'm going to give us a sandwich.
I will do.
What's happening? Can I do a pastrami sandwich on rye, please? Yes, please.
Here we go.
I'm losing my mind. This looks so good.
That's just like a brick of meat.
As you can see, what? Are they applauding because that guy showed up on time? That's too funny. I think I might actually, hang on, I'm not playing.
Did you call it? He's pretty much called that.
Look, I was right. The thickness of the sandwich is in my DNA is what I'm telling you.
You can see the fat dripping off it already.
Yeah.
Look how much meat they've managed to cram in there. I can't stare at this thing any longer without trying it. Okay. I feel like we should dive in. Oh man.
Looks are deceiving. You think like, oh man, such a big sandwich. I'm gonna get this whole thing in my mouth. This thing is like, it's literally like a pillow. Look at this thing.
That's so soft.
It's perplexing how this much meat could be so soft.
A lot of the time, particularly with sandwiches, I'm often worried about like the ratio of ingredients. I don't usually want like one thing to overpower the rest. And when I saw this, I was a bit worried that you might just be getting pure pastrami and nothing else.
Yep.
Honestly, I think they've kind of nailed the ratio here.
Yeah, it looks like it's whatever bread. It looks like it's a whatever rye.
Make it a little bit.
Right? But it's literally holding this giant fist of meat down.
Yeah.
Wild, right?
It's really, it's containing it, which is quite an impressive feat.
And now's the part of the video I want to do mustard talk. Mustard talk. My guy with the mustard knife just pow across the whole bread, right? I mean, I normally wouldn't add more. I just eat the sandwich the way that it is. But just for scientific purposes.
I think I can go more mustard because the meat is so rich and like buttery almost. I do think you want like something to balance that out. I feel like when you have a sandwich like this with so few ingredients, because this is basically just bread, meat, mustard, every ingredient has to be right.
You can know where to hide.
Really know where to hide.
Nowhere to hide with the flavor of this meat. If it was even a little dry, or if the edges were a little like too crispy, or if the fat was still a little bit too chewy, you'd be like, forget it, I can't finish this. I know. I'm like angry how good this is.
With like no effort at all, this just comes apart.
It falls right apart.
Talk to me a little bit more about pastrami.
Okay.
This is beef, correct?
Yeah.
What sort of seasonings?
The good people at Katz, they're not giving away any recipes, right?
Sure.
So here is what are the usual ingredients you'd find. Check this out. They got garlic, coriander, black pepper, paprika, cloves, allspice, mustard seed. Right? Have you ever like slow cooked meat? You heard anything like that?
I actually haven't, no. I don't really have a grill at home, so it's tricky. Have you?
Oh yeah. And it's fun,
ever,
but it's like hard to get right.
Have you ever achieved anything close to this level of tenderness?
Are you kidding? No.
You can tell, again, how much time and effort has gone into making this.
Yeah.
Because to make beef this tender, you can't do that quickly, can
No,
you?
no. Well, I do know that they will cure it for around 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days.
It's a long time.
It's a very long time. But just that idea, that process of making it now to serve it next month.
I don't have the attention span for that.
I don't have that at all.
My brain has been melted by
Yeah.
TikTok and Family Guy clips. I'd get distracted and start doing something else instead.
Yeah, tell me about, like, even as you're talking to me, I'm just imagining that, like, floating knife cutting the things of sand or whatever. What is this?
Subway
The
surfers
Subway
guy.
surfer guy just going, yeah, okay, sounds good. So you came in as being like, pastrami, I'm not that into it. How you feeling right now?
I've like immediately been convinced this is
All right,
so good.
Told you.
I don't know what happened with the last one I had. It was a long time ago, so I don't remember it exactly.
You went to some Who Cares place, got some Who Cares sandwich. Yeah.
The last time I had one, the meat didn't taste nearly this beefy,
Okay, well, there you go.
because this does still have a really strong beefy flavor to it, which I love.
Man, I think I gotta try some of these pickles, though. Also known for the pickles, they got a regular and a half sour.
I love pickles.
Yeah, I'm not into it at all.
What is it about pickles that puts you off? Like taste, texture,
consistency
both?
too, yeah.
I just love them, man. I also feel like they just pair very well with a lot of these deli meats.
Yeah.
Because these tend to be really fatty,
Yeah.
a bit
You get
salty.
this, acidic.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like about pickles? Is that they would always put the pickle slice next to the fries when you get a sandwich or a burger, and then those fries are ruined. And then everything that touched the pickle tasted like a pickle. So it's more like, I didn't ask for this, and now you ruined like the thing I wanted. So
So this one's the half sour, and then they just do like a standard pickle.
yeah. The meat is hitting me, dude.
Already? You barely dented that.
I know. We also have potato knishes here.
I know technically you're the expert here, and I'm in your town, but
Yeah.
what we're talking about, traditional Jewish foods, Knish is the one, man. So good. So it's like fried dough that's filled with potato and cheese. It's just all the most comforting foods combined.
It's like fried on the outside, so you can like have it on the go.
Uh-huh.
No.
Oh, man. Do you think we could get on this wall? How do we get on the wall?
Here's what it would take. Us framing a picture of ourselves,
Yes.
sneaking it in here, and hanging it up when no one's looking.
Do you think they'd notice? Just a little one.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Signed the Food Wars, guys.
Oh my God, I want to do that so bad now. I can't believe we forgot to do.
Why have we not done that,
Let's
man?
walk by Dwayne Reed. We're gonna get a picture of ourselves.
Find a Walgreens,
It's
come
so
back,
funny.
sneak a photo on the wall.
Right?
Man, are you not going to eat that? Because
No, we got.
I'm probably going to eat yours at this rate. I've destroyed this thing.
Stop eating. I'm not kidding, man. We got 2 more to go. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the food, but we got more pastrami to eat. We're eating our way through the city.
Okay.
We got more meat to eat in NYC. I'm so sorry.
There it is.
Empire State Building.
Statue of Liberty. Oh, okay, nice.
Famously destroyed in Cloverfield.
Yeah, and King Kong.
Yeah, that building's got the crap kicked out of it.
Man.
This is stop number 2 in our pastrami tour, 2nd Ave Deli. Famous, of course, for not being on 2nd Avenue.
Of course, that makes sense.
I am actually really hungry. I want to get into this pastrami. This place is legit. Of course, we'll get the pastrami sandwich. Want to get a few other fun things they have here. Matzo ball soup.
Of course.
Dude, it's gonna knock your socks off. Opened in 1954, moved locations in 2006, but pretty much everything has remained the same.
I'm loving the vibe in here.
That's nice, right?
Feels very authentic, very old school. Even like the chairs are kind of barely held together.
Oh, yeah.
Nice creak if I
Yeah.
lean backwards.
Ooh, yeah.
They've had these since 54, I can tell you that.
Yeah. These are top of the line in 54.
But I feel like, yeah, with things like pastrami, if you get a recipe, why change it, you know? I'm excited to try the food.
So, tell
Here
me
we
what
go.
you'd like to get.
Hello.
Don't be shy, you can tell me.
We will do a pastrami sandwich
Yeah, I think we're going to split one pastrami on rye. Matzo ball soup.
and a coffee for me.
Can we get some water as well?
It's gonna rain.
Just hold this outside.
Now wait, because I want it to be fresh.
Thank you.
I made that up. All right,
Thank
kids.
you so much.
You're welcome so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Here.
Matzo ball soup, little appetizer. You had this very often?
Yeah, I've had a few times. I do like it. I don't really think to get it. I don't go to too many places that have it on the menu.
This is like maybe as classic a comforting Jewish dish you can get.
Yeah.
So good, man.
Got dill in the broth here. Ooh, fantastic.
I feel like it's kind of hard to come by this in the UK. Unless you maybe go to like North London, which is quite a Jewish area.
Oh, really?
But like broadly speaking, compared to like in New York,
Yeah.
we don't have as much of a Jewish culture, which I think is sad because so much of the food is so good.
Yeah.
The challah bread, man, gorgeous. If people watching this at home haven't had challah bread before,
It's really great.
go crack it down. It's so good.
Sweet, yeah.
It's like almost a brioche, like a little bit of sweetness to it. The soup, I think, perfect appetizer,
Yeah.
but I think we're here for the main event.
Yeah, this looks real good. Once again, look at the thickness on that. I couldn't think
Say.
Katz's could have been beaten, but this might be thicker.
Look at that.
I want to point out once again the rye bread, unassuming, thin slice. I guarantee it's incredible. I'm curious if they didn't mustard our.
I don't think they have. I think we might have to mustard our own sandwiches, but they do have it on the table.
Guys, so, yeah.
Gonna need that, I think, with this amount of like rich, salty, fatty meat.
I do feel like we got more meat than the last place.
I think we do. Oh man, look.
Agio mustard is an interesting choice.
Can we get this? If you just squeeze this, you can see the fat like running off of it.
Now this meat is sliced a lot thinner.
It is. It's a thinner cut, but like so many layers of it.
I know, you can see just a lot of like the crust in there of the pepper and the, yeah, okay. I can't talk anymore. I gotta take a bite.
Let's go for it.
Okay. It's like really buttery. 'Cause I think that the fat on this is melted perfectly. It's incredible the consistency of this meat where it stays together and can like pile up in the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then the second you just kind of pull, it just falls apart.
As soon as you bite into
Right.
it, it's got a real like steaky taste to it almost. You really get the beef here, which I think is really, really good. You get some mustard?
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's the best way, like it's fattier, but has more of like a savory flavor to it. This is really good.
That is flavour, man.
Yeah, that is flavor. Once again, the rye bread, holding it down, not trying to outshine anything, doing its job.
I'm surprised.
You would think it would be saturated by now, but
Yeah, you see this much quite like fatty meat, and you assume that it would just soak straight through the bread. The bread's going to be like falling apart.
Nope.
Especially when it's like this thin. It's a thin slice of bread. It's kind of remarkable how well that holds up.
yeah,
It feels like a sandwich that's like greater than the sum of its parts, almost.
and look at this. Even though it's like thinner slices, almost like American bacon, but that means that your meat to crust ratio is different.
Yep.
It says more of the pepper flavor than a wider slice.
You can see the crust is like all throughout the sandwich,
Yeah.
so that every time you take a bite, you're getting like every part of the meat,
It's an interesting
all that
strategy.
flavor.
Last place, wider slices, and they're thicker.
Yep.
But this, thinner, the flavor ratio is completely different.
At this point, hard to say which one I prefer.
I agree.
I'm gonna have to stew on it,
I
and
know.
we've got more pastrami to eat,
I know.
so we can't make a decision just
I
yet.
can't-
But
but
fantastic sandwich,
this is
man.
fantastic. This place is great. You would think that something that literally like sat in salt for possibly up to 30 days would be salty, but it's not.
Not really.
It's like
no.
the sodium, the salt, it's not very high. It's more peppery, if anything.
I'd agree. I think you get more of the pepper, particularly in the bits where you kind of get the crust on the outside.
Yeah.
It's salty in the sense that it's well seasoned.
I just want to let you know, we have bread with seeds. This is without seeds. Some people prefer this. I don't
Okay.
serve it unless they ask for it because some people are allergic to seeds.
So it's still the rye bread, but with seeds.
It's
Okay,
the
great.
rye bread with seeds, so it's
Gotcha.
a little different taste.
Do you
Right.
prefer it?
I prefer it with seeds.
Interesting.
Let's do it with the
But,
seeds.
you know, if you're allergic to seeds, you have a problem that it's not a happy camper.
No seed allergies here. You're all good.
Bread update, they have a even rye-ier rye. I welcome that. I like my rye with a lot of seeds, so.
I welcome it because after the week we've had, I just need any kind of dietary fiber. But we'll see.
I prefer that. I prefer with the seeds. It's a better rye. Better rye flavor. Doesn't overpower anything. Tastes more of like a classic rye.
I'm not mad about it.
So we had a lot of food thrown at us just now. We ended up getting 2 different types of their pastrami sandwiches, having different types of rye bread, with seeds and without. I'll tell you straight up, the with seeds, right up my alley. Like, do you have a preference of which bread you like more?
Pretty close for me. I think maybe the seeded, but there's not a ton in it. I do think the classic rye bread, you can't really go wrong with that formula.
Yeah.
Of just kind of having it there as the solid, sturdy foundation. It definitely has a taste, but not too much taste. But yeah, I think maybe if you want something slightly different, a little bit out there, seeded is a good way to go.
Do you notice the cut of meat is like thinner strips?
Yes.
With more, dare I say, bark or pepper skin?
Yeah, I was kind of into it, to be honest. I feel like
Yeah.
the more layers you get, the more interspersion you get of the bark, of the seasoning,
Yeah.
which I really like because it makes sure that you get a bit of everything in every bite. So I think that's a good way to go about it. The meat here was great. It had a real beefy, steaky flavor to it, which I personally, again, thought was really great. This is a contender.
Absolutely.
We're on the one train for like an hour, so we're chilling.
We're in the Bronx. We're at Leibman's. Bit of a haul from where we were before today, but I want to take you up here because this is one of the last authentic Jewish delis here in the Bronx in this neighborhood. Used to be hundreds. It's the last one. These guys have been here forever. They actually opened a year before Second Avenue Deli. Absolutely is
Not
worth
somewhere
it.
that the average tourist would probably think to come and look for a good pastrami.
Locals only, baby.
So obviously we're here for the pastrami sandwich.
Yeah.
Anything else on the menu that we should get while we're here?
Yeah, they got this like celery drink or something that's been around forever, like predates Coca-Cola taking over everything. It's by Doc Brown, not the time travel doctor, the soda doctor. But it's a celery beverage, supposed to be really good. I mean, they still have it on the menu, so.
Yeah, I can't say that I've tried that before or that I'm particularly excited by the idea of a celery beverage, but we can give it a try.
I feel like juices and stuff, they put celery in that, right? Because it's like really a watery plant. Am I using the right word there?
They put them in the like healthy smoothie options,
yeah.
which
So-
I tend to not order.
This is probably good for you.
Let's hope so.
I mean, a doctor invented it 100 years ago.
True. And again, after the week we've had, any nutrients are welcome at the moment.
Let's check it out. Celery.
Celery.
I don't know why it's going to call celery.
No. Just call it celery soda.
That E, took out an E, added an A.
Yes.
Same amount of letters.
Should we try some celery juice?
Yeah.
All right,
Cheers.
Celery soda.
Celery
Cheers
soda,
to
here we
a
go.
great day of pastrami.
Yeah. I would have not thought that was celery.
No,
But it's like,
I don't get any celery from that.
what does celery taste like? I only eat it when I dip it in stuff.
Celery's just like crunchy grass water, right?
Yeah.
It's like not particularly good. This doesn't taste of celery. I get almost more like a sort of like appley taste. Do you get that? Yeah.
Like a citrus, but not too citrusy, right?
That's very refreshing.
Did
I would
they-
quite happily finish that whole
I
thing.
think they swapped celery with green apple. I think that's what happened. And,
It's like
and
they're both green,
and
right?
no
It's
one's
fine.
noticed.
No, I'm personally not mad
First
about
was like,
it.
what's going on here? Yeah. They it tastes exactly like apple. All right, well,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Nice. Now that our palates are suitably cleansed.
We're here to do the dang
the main
thing. All right, okay.
All right,
So I've noticed that this one has like a spiral formation. Ooh. It looks really good.
It does look really good.
I'm seeing them juices.
Yeah, man, it's glistening.
The bread,
Glistening.
bread has got a nice little bounce to it too, but it's like thicker. This is like a thicker than most ryes we've had.
Yeah, visually this is it's a gorgeous
I like
sandwich.
I want to take a look. Okay, again, the thinner strips closer to Second Avenue.
Yeah, thin strips, marbling, the fat content is there. I feel like this is going to be tender as hell. Give a little,
Yeah.
give me some of that. Go on. Quite a generous
Thank
dollop
you.
there.
Can do one of
Use a
these.
spoon to spread it like a maniac.
Yep.
All right, man.
Ready,
I
wanna
feel
bite?
like the last thing to do is to taste.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my god, that is so tender.
I think it's tasting the savoriest one we tasted today. Really buttery.
might be.
This one though, it is like because it's packed in there really tight. I feel like it's a tougher chew than the previous ones.
Yeah, it's pretty dense in there,
it's
isn't
like
it?
really dense. Wasn't expecting that.
It does feel like you're getting value for money.
Well, this one definitely feels like, oh man, I got a lot of meat in this sandwich. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wash down a little celery juice. This probably tastes the closest to like bacon we've had all day.
Yeah, I think it's that marbling.
Gotta take a break. Oh,
You need a nap already.
yeah.
Texture-wise and flavor-wise, fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Really, really
fantastic.
good.
I'm like nitpicking details here.
Yeah.
I think the spiral effect was from them wrapping it up in a ball, putting it between bread, and then cutting it.
Bam.
And that's why it looks like that, versus like layering it over like slices of meat. And then, is there a train station in there? What the f- was that?
All aboard.
The two's being delayed, guys. We should have just gotten off at the kitchen stop.
I don't know why this episode, I'm just feeling like delirious at the moment.
We've eaten a lot. We've been traveling
I've
a
hit a
lot.
level of like pastrami that I never thought
Yeah.
I would experience. Don't know where I am right now.
You've reached a pastrami saturation point.
I think I might
You've
have.
reached total pastrami.
Yes, I'm 100% pastrami right now.
Have you tried a pickle yet?
I have not, no. That might level me out a bit.
At Peter Piper, get in there, my
Might
guy.
bring me back down.
Pick your favorite one.
It's always the sour boys.
I think this is great. This is what you want. We're talking, aren't we? Yeah.
The train station. This is too much.
Did you pick up that audio? Good God.
It's a good pickle.
Yeah.
I feel like I have failed to bring you around on pickles today.
I haven't tried one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I failed big time.
What is it? That was a sour one you had?
Yeah, I think so. The darker ones tend to be slightly more sour.
So what am I doing? What am I doing right now? Like,
What are any of us doing, Joe?
It's like-
Where are we?
it's really briny. I don't feel like refreshed, or I don't feel like that was good. Like,
I
why did I
feel,
eat that?
I feel
you know?
so re-energized, man.
Yeah. So when you accidentally eat a bug, like when you're riding your bike, you're like, oh, come on.
You can't compare pickles to bugs.
All right, that's just me. I definitely really like the vibe of this place. It feels like I live here and I just popped in for a meal. Like, come here every day. They know your name.
Yeah, the guy's been like greeting the customers on the way in. He's like,
Yeah.
they haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
They know everybody here.
That has that
Local
energy,
spot.
right?
Yeah, I like it.
I really like it. Yeah.
Friendly.
It's fun, yeah, friendly. Yeah, it's nice. So, we ate a ridiculous amount of pastrami sandwiches. First of all, when we started, you were like, yeah, I'm not so into pastrami. But now after we visit all these places, what do you think?
I mean, I guess the good news is that I think I am a pastrami convert.
Nice.
Because all of these have really been fantastic.
Right? As you went through the day, like, what was it about pastrami sandwiches in general that won you over?
I wasn't sure going into this kind of like what the standard seasonings and I guess flavor of the pastrami was going to be.
Yeah.
But just the taste of it is fantastic. Varying levels of like beefiness, I would say. Sometimes you get more beef, sometimes it's more the seasonings on the outside.
Yeah.
But generally just very good. I like the texture a lot, especially when you get the layers, you get like a little bit of chew, but then once you bite into it and start to chew it, it just melts in your mouth and it's fantastic. The rye bread has also been great. I love the flavor that the rye adds. The structural integrity I think is really important to have there as well with a sandwich this dense. So yeah, all in all, I think it's just a really simple but elegant sandwich.
For me, going into this, I was like, the pastrami's got to be number one. It has to just be like perfectly cooked, perfectly sliced. And of course, the bark, the outside, the seasoning, that had to be throughout the sandwich. But you know, you can't have like too much of it because it's going to be like this peppery mess. So figuring out that very simple yet very delicate balance of all the elements of the sandwich. And I say all three of these places did a phenomenal job.
I think one thing that has really interested me is to see how different the three sandwiches that we've tried have been.
Yeah.
When on paper it's just three basically identical ingredients.
You would think, yeah.
You would think, but then when you actually try it, subtle things can make big differences.
I totally agree. We kept talking about the bread, we kept talking about the mustard, even the cut of the meats, right? It all factors in greatly to how it tastes. It's like a subtlety to it. Like all three of these places, they're a master at it, you know?
I think one thing that's shone through is that all these places have years of tradition behind them, years of practice behind them. They really have honed their art. And I think ultimately it's going to come down to like a matter of personal preference for our decision, because these are all fantastic pastrami sandwiches. I'd happily recommend any of these spots to anybody, but we're here to pick a favorite.
You go first.
So I think of the three, and again I will emphasize fine margins here. These are all fantastic sandwiches.
Razor thin.
Would happily eat any of these.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was Second Avenue Deli.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why? What was it about Second Avenue?
I liked the slightly thinner cut of meat. I loved the vibe in there. I thought it was really great, very much like a family-run,
Yeah.
traditional Jewish deli, which is great. I just think every element of that sandwich worked, was balanced. The beef had a really like steaky, beefy flavor to it,
Yes.
which I loved personally.
Yeah.
The rye bread was great, particularly with the seeds as well.
Yeah. Thank God he brought that in there because
That was
we
a
would have
great
known.
shout.
And I think that I remember the cut of that meat being similar in shape to this one, but way softer, way tender. Right?
I think so, maybe a little bit. This was, I'd say, pretty close in terms of like tenderness for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way they kind of like layered it just lent to a better mouthfeel, a better texture when you actually bit into the sandwich.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, fine margins, but I think for me, Second Avenue has just edged it out.
I agree with you.
You do?
That was also my favorite.
It's unanimous.
Yeah.
Wow. Why did you enjoy that one?
All the reasons you just said.
Yeah.
No,
I'm very eloquent. I can't help
think
it.
that the difference between that one and these other two really was the just incredible like flavorfulness of the meat, but the bread, the mustard, everything together, it really was like it just had something extra to it that I really can't place my finger on. Yeah, it was incredible. Love that sandwich.
But like I say, all fantastic. There are no losers here.
That's right.
We have
yeah.
to pick a winner, but there
Yeah.
are no losers.
We need pastrami, man. Everyone's a winner.
Man, I'm feeling.
Especially my cardiologist, man. That guy's getting paid.
I have eaten more pastrami today than I have in the rest of my life combined.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling on some kind of weird level right now.
I'm beat, bro.
I don't know what the plan is for the rest of the day, but probably going to lay down.
Yeah, I'm going home.
Perfect.